Hey everybody, it's Monica with Fit Eats Coaching, and today I'm back with some great exercises to help improve mobility, stability, and flexibility in various areas of your body so that you can have better workouts, whether you're doing metabolic workouts, basic strength training, functional training, posture correction, all the things that we want to accomplish, including endurance for all those activities that we really enjoy, like hiking and tennis, etc. You're going to need a couple of different types of bands, a Thera strap or a yoga strap, and about a 10 to 15 pound weight. My dog weighs about 12 pounds, and that's the weight that I'm choosing to use for this exercise, but you don't have to use a dog. You can just use a dumbbell or some kind of a sandbag. Also, if you're finding these videos useful, be sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment or question. I'd be happy to answer any questions about any exercises featured in my videos. All right, first up, we have your alternating arm-leg extension. So this is the equivalent of what some people call a bird dog or an alternating two-point stance, except that it is banded, so it definitely is going to challenge your upper back and your glutes a little bit more. Now, the point of this exercise is obviously to strengthen all those areas that I just mentioned, but because you're using the band, this allows your entire front of your body to get more release. So if you find yourself in a very hunched over position because of your job or your lifestyle, then this is a really great exercise, not only to strengthen the back, but to really lengthen the entire front of the body. You're only going to do 5 reps, and after you're done, you're going to pulse up that leg 5 times and then switch to the other side. Now, a couple of things that you may want to do when you're getting set up for this exercise is, number 1, wear shoes. And number 2 is, when you are positioning the band on the arch of your foot, make sure you do it from a kneeling position. This is going to save you so much time and frustration. If you try to do this from your knees, it's just going to take you forever. So just come into it from that kneeling position, and then you have that band coming right through the inside of one leg, the outside of that same leg, and there's no struggle trying to position the band. The shoes are going to keep the band in place, and they're also going to keep you from feeling anything on the arch of your foot. Sometimes bands can cut into your feet and they don't feel that comfortable when you're barefoot, so having shoes on is really helpful. Now remember, you're keeping your back aligned, your abdominals nice and tight, you're squeezing your glute muscles, and then you're only pulsing up 5 times after you do your 5 reps. And that's it, you're done. All right, now once you're done with that, fold your band in half, drape it around your mid-back along your bra strap line, come down into your cat-cow position, and then really contract those deep abdominals to round the back and then arch the back. This is going to feel a lot harder than regular cat-cows. You're actually going to feel your deep abdominals really working to flex and extend the spine. Struggle to feel your core, then this banded cat-cow is a total game changer. All right, next up we have reclined straight leg wipers using a super band. And remember that you can adjust the resistance that you're using by either pulling the band tighter, using lighter bands, shortening the length of the band. All those things can work around your needs. With this exercise, you're mainly working on core stability. So you're using your deep abdominals to keep your torso anchored down while that leg is going side to side. You're also going to be pushing hard through the resistance of the band to get that leg from side to side, which is going to give you a lot of flexibility work through the inner thigh, your hamstrings, your glutes, IT band, TFL, low back, and even your lats. So this is an amazing exercise that primarily works on core stability, but also has the added bonus of flexibility for the entire lower body and even some parts of the upper back. Now you may be wondering if you need to do all these exercises back to back before a workout, and the answer is just pick and choose the ones that work best for your needs. So maybe just 2 or 3 of these before a specific type of workout that you're doing. Maybe 2 or 3 of these are going to help you have better movement patterns. Focus on the ones that you need on specific days, or maybe on off days, do all 9 and see how that works for you. Sometimes movement prep can be a workout on its own on off days, and that works for a lot of people. All right, next up we have the elevated bridge band pull, which is great for core and glute stability, as well as upper back strength and opening of the chest and shoulders. So if you have a lot of shoulder stuff happening in your workouts and you find that doing any kind of plank work or press work, it feels a lot of twinging there, or your back is overcompensating for that by trying to help out all the time, then this is going to be a key exercise for you. Just make sure that you're keeping those hips elevated, that you're contracting your abdominals, squeezing your shoulder blades together, and using your breathing to help with this exercise. Breathe deeply as you open the band, and then breathe out as you slowly release. Next up, we have the scorpion with a Thera Strap, which is an amazing exercise to open up the chest and shoulders, as well as your hip flexors and your quads. The Thera Strap is kind of a combination between a yoga strap and a Thera band. It has all these loops that you can place your hands and feet into depending on your needs. And it's really amazing because it has a little bit of a stretch, but not too much. So it has a lot of support. It kind of is helpful when you need to guide your limbs in a certain direction that they don't seem to want to go. So this is great if you struggle to do scorpions with good form. You find that your back leg, the one that's bent, is just collapsing onto your other leg, or you're not getting much height from that leg, meaning that you're not reaching that heel up towards your opposite hand of the hand that's holding the strap, then this is going to really help you to get that nice rotation. Your chest is completely flat on the ground, and your head should also be on the floor, so you can put your forehead down on a towel or even a pillow, or you can turn your head to the side. The main thing with this exercise is to keep your chest down, keep your hands flat on the ground, and do the rotation by squeezing your glute muscles, using your hamstrings a little bit to pull on that band so that you're getting that lengthening happening through your quads, hip flexors, and entire torso and chest. All right, next up we have a deep lunge twist, but we're using a band for this, and this is amazing because you're using your very powerful back muscles to open up your chest and shoulders. And also because you're in this deep lunge, you're activating your core, and if you're squeezing the glute of the back leg, then you're also getting that glute activation, which is helping to lengthen your hip flexors even more. So this exercise does so many things for your body, and it's really manageable for most people. Now, if at any point you feel like you need to take a break, then go ahead and rest in child's pose or in corpse pose for 30 to 60 seconds and then keep going. Remember that you're only doing about 5 repetitions of each of these 9 exercises. In fact, there might be a few more than 9 exercises if you count all the variations that I included. But even though it's only 9 exercises, this can still be pretty challenging for your posture, your deep abdominals, your glutes, all your back and shoulder muscles. All right, next up we have a modified side plank with overhead reach using a band. It's really important that you get your footing right on this. So bring the foot behind the body slightly and make sure that you are engaging those glutes, that you're kind of thrusting those hips forward while at the same time pulling your abdominals towards the back of your spine. That's what's going to give you that stability to be able to press that band overhead. Keep that elbow really close to your body as well so that you don't put any pressure on your shoulders or your neck. If you do have serious neck and shoulder issues, then I would highly recommend that you skip this exercise until you have more stability in those areas. Once you can hold a modified side plank with just free arm movement without any bands or weights, any resistance of any kind, then you can begin to add resistance like this. This exercise can do some serious damage to your neck and shoulders if you're not careful. So be sure that when you are ready to do it, that you have the absolute best form possible. You want a straight line from your tailbone all the way up to the back of your head, and again engaging all those stabilizers to really lengthen through the side body so that you can press that band overhead. Okay, next up we have one of my favorite hamstring release exercises. This is one of the most effective ways to lengthen your hamstrings. If you don't have good hamstring flexibility and you're looking to get flexible super quick, this is the best way to do it. You're going to contract your quads, so your thigh muscles, squeeze them as hard as you can until your leg lifts off of the ground. Make sure that you're not leaning back to help. And then release the leg, grab your Thera Strap and pull your rib cage onto your thigh. Again, you want to make sure that you're not leaning back when you're squeezing your thigh so that you're not cheating to lift that leg. You're using your quad muscles because that's what's going to help to release those hamstrings. And when you pull forward, maintain that hip hinge that you have when you're doing deadlifts or dumbbell swings, all those moves that require you to hinge at the hip and not at the waist. So you don't want to be rounding your back to come down. This exercise is not about reaching your nose to your knee or your forehead to your shin. It's about creating length through the entire hamstring all the way up into your glutes, and it's very easy to do when you're really focusing on your form. Next up, we have an optional exercise, which is a super band boat pose. So you're using that band, again squeezing those thighs to lengthen the hamstrings and using your back muscles and your core muscles to stay nice and straight with your upper body. So no rounding of the back, trying to stay as upright as you can, working on that core to keep you up in that position, and then really working through that resistance of the band. Again, this is an optional move. You don't have to do this. It's a little bit more advanced. Finally, we are on to our last move, which is a seated single arm row with a bit of a twist. So you're sitting with your legs straight out in front of you and you have a band attached to the opposite foot of the arm that is working. You're going to extend the elbow back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then when you feel that nice twist happening, that's when you want to fully extend the band all the way back, pulling that band across the chest. You're going to feel a really nice opening through the entire upper body, but again, this is working your upper back, your entire core, and it is definitely stretching your hamstrings. This is one of the harder exercises in this entire video, so make sure that you can do all the other exercises with really good form before attempting this one. You're only going to do 5 repetitions, and it does help to kind of position the band, offset it a little bit so that one side is longer than the other. And you might want to also hinge at the hips and kind of lean forward as you're drawing that elbow back. So notice how one arm kind of gets closer to the foot as the elbow comes back, and then you extend. That's going to help to lengthen your lower body a little bit better, but it's also going to allow you to have that nice reach when you open back. All right, now once you've done with all the exercises that you've chosen to do from this routine, you're going to sit in fire logs holding your weight that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I have a 12-pound dog to hang on to, which is pretty nice. It's very comforting, but you can just use a dumbbell or a sandbag. And what you want to do is rock the weight from side to side, hinge at the hips, kind of fold forward, do a lot of movement to kind of release those hips a little bit more. Anyways, I hope that all this has been helpful. I'll be back soon with more exercises and tips to help you get your fittest, leanest body. Thanks for watching.